large scale production of amino acids or amino acid fermentation. Amino acids are the growth factors, that means which are required for the growth and metabolism of organism or of cells. So amino acids and vitamins are considered as essential growth factors which are required for the growth, multiplication, metabolism of cells. So these are important class of compounds as they are essentially required for the cell growth. Amino acids, as we know, that they are constituents of proteins, and these proteins are responsible for various important functions in the cell. Amino acids are important in relation to food and feed additives, and they are also useful as uh, as an agent for the manufacturing of chemical drugs. Amino acids are useful as flavoring agent in different foods, seasonings and nutritional additives. They are very useful for the improvement in the bread making process. So it improves the quality of bread. As a flavoring agent, the most widely used amino acid is glutamic acid, which is used in the form of monosodium glutamate and which is used as a flavoring agent. Amino acids such as L-alanine and L-glycine are also useful as flavoring agent in foods. There are categories of essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. So essential amino acids are those which are not synthesized by our body cells, and therefore we are dependent on some external food source for the source of these amino acids. That means we obtain these amino acids from food. So these essential amino acids that are present in insufficient quantity in cereals such as in cereals are lysine, threonine, methionine and L-lysine and D-L-methionine are basically useful to improve the nutritional quality of food. That means these amino acids are added in foods to make that food a complete protein. Complete protein means the protein that serves as a source of 20 different amino acids. That means all the amino acids are supplied by single protein, that is called as complete protein. L-cysteine is used to improve the quality of bread in during baking process. Amino acids such as histidine, tryptophan are used to prevent rancidity of foods. Apart from that, amino acids have therapeutic uses. For example, L-arginine. L-arginine is effective in hyperammonemia, that means the alkalinity of our body fluid, that means the pH is in rise. So for the treatment of that, L-arginine is used for as a neutralizing agent. It is useful in the liver disorders by decreasing arginase activity in liver. L-cysteine is used for the treatment of bronchitis or nasal cara. Glutamic acid and histidine are useful for the treatment of gastric ulcers. Several derivatives of amino acids have been used in cosmetics, synthetic leathers, surface active agents, fungicides, and pesticides. An example of that is polyarmethyl glutamate, means it is a derivative of glutamic acid, chemically modified glutamic acid. It is used in the manufacturing of synthetic leather. So likewise, Amino acids are taken as a base, and these amino acids are allowed to conjugate with different chemicals, and these chemicals will find several uses in several industries. The commercial production methods for amino acids. So these are the different reasons why amino acids are required to be produced in large quantity. Commercial production methods for amino acids are hydrolysis of protein. That means the protein which is obtained from different sources such as cereals or different plant materials. They are chemically hydrolyzed to obtain amino acid. That means it is broken down to amino acids. That is called as protein hydrolysis. Another method is chemical synthesis. Different chemicals are allowed to conjugate to form amino acids. And the third commercial method is microbial fermentation. So the process of microbial fermentation for the production of amino acid, it started with the discovery and invention by a Japanese scientist Kinoshita and his co-workers in 1957. So it was the first study for the production of amino acid on large scale initiated by Kinoshita and his co-workers from Japan. Microbial fermentation methods involve two processes. Amino acids are produced by direct fermentation method as well as by indirect fermentation method. Now what is direct fermentation? It is a one stage process. So whatever the fermentations we have studied so far, in which the substrates are converted to product through metabolic activities by a single microbial culture or producer, it is one stage process. So there is use of a single microbe. Opposite to that is indirect fermentation. It is also called as dual fermentation. And dual fermentation, it is a two-stage process where there is use of more than one microbe for the production of a single fermentation product. That means one organism is useful for the conversion of substrates to an intermediate. Another organism is used to convert this intermediate to product. That is called as dual fermentation. Now, the production of glutamic acid. Now, large scale production of glutamic acid is required because glutamic acid is used as a flavoring agent in different types of foods. Glutamic acid may be produced by several methods such as hydrolysis of wheat gluten, which is a source of protein, soybean cake, a source of protein, and other protein rich materials which can be subjected to hydrolysis, and that will lead to production of amino this glutamic acid. First commercial production of glutamic acid was started due to the efforts of this Kinoshita, a Japanese scientist, where he produced L-glutamic acid as the first amino acid by direct fermentation by a glutamic acid producer, a bacterium, Corynebacterium glutamicum. The direct fermentation or the one stage process. There are several organisms, bacteria, which are useful for the production of glutamic acid. They are Corynebacterium glutamicum, Corynebacterium lilium, Corynebacterium hercules, Brevibacterium species, Microbacterium orthobacter. So several species of these group are useful for production of glutamic acid. Most of these glutamic acid producers are gram positive, non-spore producing and non-motile. And the very important characteristic is that they require biotin for the growth. The concentration of biotin in the medium is the most critical controlling factor in this fermentation. So you need to go back and see chapter number 1, that is strain improvement, in which we have studied under the methods of strain improvement. One of the method was modification of cellular permeability, where Corynebacterium glutamicum produces glutamic acid in presence of optimum concentration of biotin that causes the changes in cellular permeability, and that leads to the leakage of glutamic acid. So biotin has a key role in glutamic acid production or fermentation. So it should be added in the medium in feed limiting concentration, or it should be added in the medium such that that concentration should only support the growth, and the concentration will not be sufficient enough to synthesize the cellular envelopes or cell membrane. So that leads to defects, generation of defects in cell membrane, which ultimately results into increased cellular permeability and leakage of metabolite like glutamic acid outside the cell. Another method to create defects in cellular envelopes are the use of antibiotics who targets the cell wall, that is penicillin and cephalosporin. So these are added during the growth phase, and that permits the cells to accumulate and excrete glutamic acid even in presence of biotin. So that is the alternative. Saturated fatty acids can be added in the medium that will be responsible for the generation of defective cell membrane, and that causes that loses its characteristic of selective permeability, and there is leakage of glutamic acid in the medium. So in this case, glutamic acid will appear in the fermentation broth. Now the role of penicillin and saturated fatty acids as antibiotic agents made it possible to use biotin rich raw materials such as beet or cane molasses for the production of glutamic acid. This is very important. The addition of substances, compounds such as twin-80, that is polyoxyethylene sorbitan monooleate, during the logarithmic growth in biotin rich medium, it also causes an aberration, that means a defect in cell envelope, that is in cell membrane. So permeability changes, it leads to the leakage of glutamic acid outside the cell. That means glutamic acid is produced inside the cell in large quantity, and then it is excreted out. So it will appear in fermentation broth. So it will appear extracellularly, synthesized intracellularly, and it will be excreted out. Now the production medium and the fermentation conditions for direct fermentation for the production of glutamic acid are: under the optimum conditions, glutamic acid bacteria, they convert 50% of the carbohydrates to glutamic acid with little production of byproducts, which of course are separated by the methods of purification. Various carbohydrate materials can be used as a source of carbon, like glucose, sucrose are particularly suitable. For industrial purposes, hydrolyzed starch solution, cane molasses are preferred. The other carbon sources are acetic acid and ethanol. So molasses is the best one, but molasses has high content of biotin, and therefore it needs addition of penicillin during the logarithmic growth phase. Or this cane molasses, it can be pre-treated for the removal of uh, biotin. If it is not possible, then there can be use of penicillin during logarithmic growth. As a source of nitrogen, there can be addition of ammonium sulfate, ammonium chloride, ammonium phosphate, aqueous ammonia, ammonia gas, and urea. Ammonia water or gaseous ammonia is generally used for industrial purpose. The other ingredients which are to be added as a source of potassium, magnesium, iron, manganese, phosphate, and sulfur. They are added in the form of different or inorganic salts. The most important factor in the medium of glutamic acid production is concentration of biotin. Biotin is an essential growth factor for Corynebacterium glutamicum. That means it required for the growth of this bacteria. So the concentration of biotin, it plays a very key role. The concentration of biotin in the medium has to be optimum. That means it should support the growth, and it is discovered that it should be 5 micrograms per liter. So this is the optimum concentration that will allow the growth of glutamic acid bacteria, and this will also allow the creation of defects in cell membrane. The pH of the medium is around 7 to 8. Now this fermentation requires continuous feeding of ammonia. This is very important, you need to remember this. There is requirement of continuous ammonium ions. So this continuous addition of ammonia, uh, it can be useful for the adjustment of pH, and it will also supply ammonium ions to medium. If ammonia is not added, then another alternative is intermittent addition of urea. Now this is very important. Intermittent addition of urea or ammonia is highly required for the highest production of glutamic acid. You need to remember this. The temperature is 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. The course of glutamic acid fermentation